Is that about you giving all of us advantage for the whole first hour of this show on every skill check? What?
I didn't hear you say that. Did you guys hear him say something about advantage for the entire first hour of the show?
No, but you just did. So what's up with that? What's going on?
I have no idea what's going. I don't know.
I guess we have to do it because you.
Lightning Dragon said minus 100% to all rolls.
That sounds good. No, Lightning Dragon, is this 100% of the D20 result of the proficiency point? Minus 100%. Like what are we minusing? Just the end result in general.
Just a flat 100.
Oh, by the way, look! I learned a lesson, Tyler.
You got a lid in a straw.
A lid in a straw, absolutely. Not messing around with the cat again. Yeah.
I've always done a water bottle with a lid around electronics.
I had mine before. Remember my green one? I always drank from. But I would bring it to him from work just so I have like water at work, and it literally fell in the parking lot and just shattered. And I was like,
oh no,
because it was raining out and it slipped, and I was like, mother.
Well, Scott, if and when I end up out there, or if and when you end up back out here in LA, I have plenty of water bottles you can just have.
Oh, why? Thank you. I see. Tyler and I are gonna hang out in person just so he can give me a water bottle. So, you hear that, Brittany? Tyler loves me more than you.
I already ordered it, asshole.
My wife.
She's such a mood.
I already ordered it.
Love and marriage.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Anyways, so let's get into the game. So as a reminder, what happened last session?
We have to.
I mean, you've literally been Josh can confirm this in chat. You've literally been crying about wanting to play D&D in the Regicide chat for how long? I mean,
I'm pretty sure that was me and Rena. I think Messi was nonchalant about it.
Man. I got shit.
Wow, guys, come on! You could have thrown him under a bus. One of you could push, the other could have driven.
I'm just
You
pushing
understand he has
whatever
a life.
narrative. I'm just pushing whatever narrative right now. It doesn't. I don't have an agenda.
Yeah, I had my pact boon, which then gave me the other spells.
All right, so jumping into the reminding where we were last time, short version of it. You guys were in Adlama. You had fought the man, and you had killed him despite his time wave that he had going on. Literally, he had set it up so that he was in the slowest room, and you guys were kind of moving through like a ripple effect of faster time speed rooms all the way down to the slowest, and he teleported himself into the fastest one and literally rode the wave of time so he can get to you quicker than you'd be able to react. However, Rena, a combination of two things, rolled extremely well, and somebody dropped a triumph saying, let the queen have her time, or something along those lines. And Rena popped out and went Vala on this guy, and a couple more checks were made or whatever, but you guys destroyed him, like just utterly destroyed him. From there, you decided, where do we go? Do we start heading south, like we know we're supposed to, for meeting up with Nightingale? And I think you had a second lead to go down there. Or do we head up north because there was a sword that you guys wanted to do to get to? You decided to go north. Rena actually happens to know these lands pretty well. This whole area is like her, literally at the capstone of where she treats as kind of like home turf, where she spent a lot of time. And you walked into Cursevelt, a place that she had been around before but never really explored into, so it wasn't considered like green turf for her. Anyways, you went into it and you were detained because, well, let's be serious. Rena's dressed in Peredhel military uniform. You guys are all Perrin looking, and so on and so forth. Cat, that soup is not for you. If you're going to go near it, you're going to get kicked off my lap. So,
I don't remember that part.
You guys were detained, and while you were detained, it's supposed to be like a relatively quick thing. Many more hours passed by. Tyler did the best he could to try to be deceptive and hide the facts that he was sleeping and whatnot, and had to like disguise his person with disguise self. And then she finally comes walking in. This is the commander. Finally comes walking in, and looks like she's ready to talk. And that's kind of where we ended last session. So here we are with her walking in, saying, "Let's talk," in the cell. So you three of you are inside the cell. She is standing outside of it. There was always a guard kind of in this area beforehand, but she actually dismisses all of the guards, so it's just her standing outside the cell and the three of you inside of it. And so she had said, "Let's talk." She looks at the three of you and says, before I ask any questions, I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain yourselves while you're here, or anything else you might feel necessary to explain. I know you've already given me some reasoning before, but let's wipe the slate clean. Let's wash everything else behind us. This is our first meeting. Please, explain whatever you feel as though I might need to know about. Let's start with you. You look like you could string a sentence together, she says, pointing to Yondis.
Fuck. Well, I am a noble who has come here to trade goods and supplies and learn more about the people here. Nothing really that entertaining, I'm sad to admit, and I hope that I've been helpful in the prosecution of justice. I'll smile.
Noble here for trade. Understandable. I mean, you definitely are wearing clothing that would be seen as noble's clothing if it wasn't for the dirt of the road and a
lot of trouble.
A few tears that suggest there might be combat along the way. It makes sense.
Dangerous place out there, yeah.
She says, looking to Rena, who looks like somebody that can handle herself, but nonetheless is still a rather slender and effeminate female. And she says, a scary place indeed for a young lady like yourself. She's also a woman, a young woman. Oh, what are you doing here? Anything you care to explain? I think you might be muted.
No?
Someone said something about.
Oh, now I can hear you, Irina.
Now I can hear you.
Oh, I was not. I have no idea what happened.
Oh, background music. Thanks, Josh. God.
I was saying, I'm here to support him.
So, in
Like,
what are you his wife?
No, I'm his guard.
Ah, so hence the armor and everything that you're wearing to protect.
Yes.
Makes sense. Okay. And you?
Eyes here's for business.
What kind of business would that be?
Purchasing weapons of sorts. Herds of blacksmiths do wells here, so I sent a friends to puts in my orders. I'm here to retrieve.
Understandable. If you'll excuse me for just one moment, and she walks away from the cell, goes over to the door. They open the door up for her. She steps out of the room. The door doesn't even close behind her. She kind of like leans around the door. She's busy for a moment. Then she comes back in, holding the head of the of the commander that you guys had killed, decapitated, and kept the head of in your extra dimensional bag.
Why'd we do that?
And she walks in with it, and just she walks in with it and drops it. She's not just like with her bare hands, because ew, but like with a cloth like around her hand. She is holding it, and she just drops it in the cloth on the ground right in front of the cell. So it kind of like rolls over and rests with like the side of its face against the cell.
Ophio's seen that'll kind of smile and just go, "You sees, we're not with thems."
Oh my god.
I don't even know what that is.
Shocked. I'm shocked that just happened.
So, we're not wiping the slate clean again. Now you've lied to me.
I haven't those.
Here we like to consider omission a lie.
You didn't ask the direct questions. You
I
didn't
did.
expect the direct answers.
I did. I open-ended. Anything else you care to explain? So if you need a direct question, sir, what is that?
That's what you would call elopers.
It appears to be a head to me. I don't know much about it.
What is a loper?
A kind from a different lands.
What lands?
At that, he'll just kind of stand there and just be like, not here's.
It looks like the strangest looking Perrin I've ever seen.
Exactly.
Why the hell are you walking around with the head of a dead Perrin in your bag?
It's not appearance.
It's not. Because if you
No,
ask
it's-
me, this looks like Perrin royalty. Are you assassins?
Nose.
You're a terrible liar. She looks at Rena and says, "You're a woman of action. You seem like somebody who'd rather just get the job done than waste your time talking about it. Are you an assassin?"
Not my initial purpose, but things happen.
Is this from Peredhel?
I don't know what this is.
Where'd you get it?
We killed it.
Okay. In Tasiendale?
Oh, Tazingdale's a hole. I thought you said the.
It's your
city.
old
Yeah.
country, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just nod.
Where in Tasiendale? Technically speaking, Adlama is Tasiendale, even if Peredhel likes to pretend like it's not. So just so you know, which Adlama is where it took place. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Rena.
Would I know that? I'd probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
know
we
that.
killed him there.
Mhm.
Well, you guys did.
Yeah. So why did you bring it all the way up here?
I'll just look at Ophios.
Look, she looks back at Ophios. Is the person you're cashing in with in Kurzwald?
Nose. This was not paid. This was purpose.
So, without pay, you went and killed Perrin nobility.
Not nobilities.
Perrin...
Not parents.
She looks
It's-
confused.
A sickness, a creature that only reaps deaths and destroys.
She looks at the other two. Oh, she actually looks specifically at Yondis and says, "You're from Peredhel, correct? You're wearing Perrin nobility, noble clothing. I've seen it before.
Yep.
Is this one of yours?"
Nope, he tried to kill us.
What is it?
It's kind of like an old man.
An old Perrin, right?
Sure. I've never seen one that old. I actually I didn't kill this guy, just so you know. I said I told him we should have ran away. So so I guess that means, you know, I'm innocent, so.
I think the three of you need to get your story straight. Why don't I take this outside and you can figure things out? And she literally uses her foot to like scoot it out the door. Like, out the door. So she doesn't have to touch it with her hand because that's disgusting.
Why did we keep the head?
And she goes and she shuts the door
Oh, no.
and locks it.
I think that was your idea.
For you.
It was literally
my
just
idea.
to show it to Yondis, I thought.
You kept it. You took it. I just kicked it off my axe.
Has it been like, it's been a few days since we killed this guy, right? So this
Oh,
head's
yeah.
like started to deteriorate a bit in the back.
You guys didn't have any gentle repose or anything, nope.
Yeah.
An
so-
extra dimensional space doesn't mean time doesn't pass.
So
I think it was because Ophios wanted to study it and figure out more information about it. He might have kept it. I'm trying to remember because it's just been so long.
It's to me it sounds like it was a temporary thing because we didn't preserve it in any way. We just
Yeah,
threw it in
there
the
was
bag.
no way to preserve it, so it wasn't like we had planned to keep it for long. It might have been just to test the weapon that I'm getting here on its skin.
What? That seems really arbitrary though, because it would have been dead for a long time. I feel like you probably took it just for like an RP gag, and then
Like a trophy.
yeah, and then just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, probably. Probably, honestly, probably brought it. No, the reason he brought it, I know for a fact, it was literally just to show Yondis to prove that we didn't just go in there and not get anything, that we killed the creature that he was so afraid
Yeah,
of.
that's right.
That's why he kept it.
To prove that you killed the guy.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So that's all we just kept it.
I could have
to
sworn
prove
we
me.
had pulled it out at the camp. I didn't know if we had kept it in there, but I'm surprised
Oh.
we did. It might have made sense that we did.
I think we threw it back in the bag just as a
We might
like
have
clear
just
the scene
forgotten
kind
about
of
it.
thing. Yeah.
So that's out of game. In game, what's the collaboration you guys have?
Well, Ophios is gonna look at Rena and Yondis and just be like, "Wells." We explains whose this person's was, maybe, perhaps.
I mean, how illegal is murder here, right?
Well, murder is probably quite illegal, but Teasingdale is an active war against Peredhel.
And
Like,
this is
literally,
a dead
Rena's
Peredhel
from
guy.
land that used to be Teasingdale that's now Perrin land. So this is not just like a long time ago war. It's active. They're currently stealing their land war.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So,
they should,
I mean,
they should
we
be
might
paying
as-
us.
We might as well say whose this person's is. The commanders of
Yeah,
the
we'll
armies.
just- So we'll tell them the truth this time.
Wells, I never was dishonest.
Well, yeah, but just for the group, just not pointing any fingers.
Yondis.
Yes.
He's pointing his finger at you.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Swat it away.
At that, Ophios is gonna focus and bring out his pact blade.
Okay?
And he's just gonna basically have it hidden on him, a dagger. As long as it's within 5 feet of him, it stays.
Well, if you do that, you lose the mask,
Hmm?
No, I don't.
right?
No.
You have both.
No, no,
my
no, no.
back blade doesn't make
These are
me
two different
immune.
things. The thing is, if you summon the pact blade, because did you already have a special weapon, Tyler, or no?
It was the Phallician that was my pact weapon. It had been acting as my pact weapon.
Gotcha.
So I can change it every day.
Yeah. So so there's two ways that you can work with a pact blade. One of them is like what you're doing. You can literally turn it into whatever you want. If
other
you
is
summon it
to
now,
assign
that means it
something.
can be found now. And the other one is to assign something, and you can take something that's physical and make it disappear, which is cool.
Right.
But you didn't do that prior, so you're just summoning one and you're just turning it into a dagger and leaving it nearby in the cell. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yep.
That's cool.
I also have to run. I'll be right back.
No problem. Oh, that's Tyler's pizza. So the two of you, as Ophios is like summons a blade and then goes over and tucks it away, gives the two of you a moment to like chat. Like Ophios isn't far, but he's kind of distracted at the moment. Do you have any side chatter?
Yeah.
Do you know what a loper is?
Didn't want the pizza to burn. All right, I'm back.
Go ahead.
I'm assuming it's that thing, just kind of motioning, like where she left, like the door. I've never seen one. I've never seen anything like this before.
Wait, what's going on?
The Loper.
We're talking when you're not around, behind your back, about what a loper is. Trying to figure it out. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there.
Why did she ask if it was Perrin royalty?
Nobility.
No,
Probably-
didn't she say royalty specifically?
She
She
did
did
say
say
royalty. But if you were to
Um,
guess, it looks like an old Perrin without looking old.
It's like an old parent with Botox.
Well, yeah, that works. Sorry, Joan Rivers. But
She
you
just
don't look
assumed
good.
it was some really high noble.
Like some very high society.
Yeah.
guy.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just as confused as you are.
I'll turn to Ovios. What's your plan here? Kind of like, motioning or like nodding towards like the weapon that I just saw you like hide.
Backups plans, just in case.
enough.
More murder's gonna help here, buddy. I think the plan should be we just tell her that it was a commander for Perrin, a Perrin commander. If we just leave it at that, and hopefully she'll let us go. I mean, we've killed a lot of the same opposition they have. Kind of like, you know, the enemy of your enemy is your friend kind of thing.
Can understand that. I guess that's sorts of how we came to know each other's.
How perceptive of you. Okay, then that'll be the plan.
You guys end up waiting after you're done talking to one another.
So, like, a bell we need to ring to get her back?
No, a little more time passes, maybe even like another hour or whatever. After like 10-minute conversation, like another hour or so passes. Eventually the door opens up and she comes in. She comes in and she actually has a little tray with her. And on the tray is 3 little sandwiches. You know, it's got some, like, you know, you guys in the mountains, right? So some mutton.
I love sandwiches.
She's got some mutton with like goat's milk, cheese, and like goat's cheese, and, you know, on some like very, very like thick cut, hearty bread with a little bit of like mushroom or whatever thrown on there.
The delicacies.
And she actually like hands that, like, puts the tray in front of us, so each one of you guys can grab a sandwich if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, I'll grab a sandwich. I'll be the first one there.
So you know, reach over, you grab a sandwich. Rena, I imagine you get a sandwich too.
Yeah, I'll just take one.
Ophios. You can swallow it whole if you want.
Are these bad sandwiches?
Sorry, I'm still I'm doing research
Probably a
on
trap.
my secondary spell stuff. So and the hex
Probably
blade. You
drugging
asked
us.
about that.
Ophios, you get a sandwich too.
Yeah, he'll eat a sandwich. Why not?
Okay,
If we
so
have a sandwich.
She
Wait.
hands them to you.
We
Wait,
all black out.
wait. Who?
Game
Who?
over.
Who
This
hands
is the
this-
command. This is the captain of the guard.
Oh, he's not eating it then.
Okay, so the 2 of them get a sandwich. Ophios doesn't. Ophios doesn't take it. She shrugs. She'll take the
he's-
sandwich and take a bite.
And then he'll take it.
Oh no, too late. She kept the sandwich. Now she's eating it.
Oh well.
So after she takes like a bite, and she's like, you know, watching you guys. Waits. She finishes chewing, swallows. Mutton's a little dry, so, you know, takes a couple extra minutes to get the saliva back in there. And she's like, did you collaborate? Did we decide to come clean, or are we gonna have to play this game for another couple of days?
Yeah, so about that, and I'll point to the head on the floor.
Well, it's gone now, but yeah.
Well, that
Where it was, like the coagulated blood in the area where it sat for a couple of moments.
sure, yeah, the little skin flakes that came off, maybe, and the rotting flesh. Yeah, see, he was actually a commander for the Perrin military, and he didn't like us very much. So, you know, we got in a little bit of a. I wasn't there actually.
You
Yeah, he-
were there before he was killed.
Just spit it all out. Come on.
Yeah,
He's
why
the
don't we-
commanders of the Perrin militaries, based out of whatever the freak cities that was.
Adlama.
Llama.
Adlamas. And, well, he wasn't who he says he was. He is a Lopers, and I killed him. End of story. Well,
Yeah,
Rena's
Loper,
and I
that's
killed
it.
him.
Loper, yeah.
I don't know what a loper is. Do they work for the Perrin?
Knows.
Why
Like I
does
said earlier, they're
this
of
one
a
did.
different worlds.
why
one worked
why
for
does he?
Perrin?
This one work for the Perrin. Why does he look so Perrin?
Because Lopers are the originals of the parents. They's are the olds. They are the ones priors to humans mixings.
Yeah, which is what I was gonna say.
So you're telling me that whatever that thing was is what you people came from?
Knows. Well,
Yes.
we killed Sitz, but
Yes. No. Yes.
yes.
It is an
Wait,
ancestor.
you're confusing
yes.
me. So that doesn't make sense. What is your questions?
That
An
thing,
ancestor.
that thing you said was what Perrin were before Perrin mixed with human blood. You're saying that Perrin are half whatever that was, Loper.
Wait,
Oh,
is that-
yes.
is that-
So
Yes.
you people came
Lords.
from that.
Well, yes. Looking at
Exactly.
her perplexed, kind of like a long times ago.
Wait, Ophius, what are you talking about?
I'm very confused right now.
Why did you kill it?
Because it's not goods.
Because it's not good? How is it not good? Am I not good? Because right now you guys look like you might not be good. So how is it not good?
It tries to kill us, like she
Wait.
said.
Now hold on. He's a paramilitary commander? Isn't that what Don't you hate him?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, great,
Please, don't get me wrong. But the enemy of my enemy very well could be my friend, unless they're also my enemy.
Well, no, we're not, because we killed him. So.
That's the only reason why.
Have we made any aggressive actions?
You brought a
since
head
you've
of a
been
dead
here?
man that's been dead for days to my doorstep.
But that was
Listen,
on
I
accident.
forgot that it was theirs.
We didn't mean to bring
Jeez.
the head. It's all a big misunderstanding.
That was to show this guys who didn't comes in to help us that I had killed the guys that he was
he
so
was just-
scared of.
He was just showing me the dead body. I mean, just proof of contract or whatever, right? So
What was your reasoning for killing it?
he was a bad guy.
Ophios is going to. He had hid the dagger on his person,
Yep.
so he didn't hide it in the corner.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he's going to start dissipating his disguised self.
Okay. You dissipate, and as it dissipates, she takes a step backwards, and she takes a step backwards, and then much slower the second time takes another step backwards. And you see her hands reach to the hilt of her weapon, but she doesn't draw it or anything like that. She looks full on at him, narrowing her eyes at him, and is like, "What are you?"
Eyes and the killers of thems. The Lopers. The ones from another's worlds. These are our enemies. That's why he's dead. It just so happens he was also the commanders of the militaries who's also was bads to my friends there. Gesturing to Rena. The ones he fights.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Thanks, bro.
He raises his hand for a high five. Ignored. You gonna leave me hanging, bro? Doesn't even respond. She listens to what you say and she says, "So then you are an assassin, but not for Peredhel, for Lopers. This Loper happens to be in the Peredhel military. Where else do you find Lopers?"
Where's I can find them. That is not what I am here's for. But if word gets out, and he's gonna Misty Step right now to go next to her.
Fuck. We could have gone away without there being an attack. You Misty Step next to her, roll initiative. Gosh darn it. Hold on, let me clear away the initiative tracker.
Thanks, Tyler.
You're welcome.
Well, appearing immediately adjacent to somebody is a pretty aggressive action. It's that close before it was, didn't have to.
We were about to get out
we were
scot
about,
free.
yeah.
Oh, I
home
forgot to
free.
click on my mini. Do I reroll?
Yeah.
Or did it show
No,
up?
I'll add it on there for you.
Okay.
That one he gives you. Sorry.
Or are we all rolling?
You don't have to, because you guys probably can't really do anything from inside there. So all of a sudden you appear next to her, and so she immediately, draws and attacks at you because you appeared next to her. Like, what the, and attacks at you.
Wait, you took away my initiative. What the heck, man?
No, well, you don't matter.
But I can do stuff.
You can talk.
I can go first. See, I was supposed to go first.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Cast Fog Cloud.
Oh, really? How are you gonna do that? Oh, with your book?
Hands?
Do you have a spell book?
Oh yeah, I have my book. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where's that spell book?
You know what? Just never mind, bro. Just go ahead. I don't care. I'll punch her through the ball.
Oh, actually, I missed. Surprisingly, I actually have a really good chance to hit, and against your AC 17, I actually missed. So she swings at you. So it's one of those things where you produce your dagger and you misty step, like you said. You drop your disguise.
I just misty step. I didn't draw my dagger.
Correct, but she rolled low enough that as she takes the swing at you, you're actually able, with your very quick snake-like reflexes, able to actually move out of the way of the attack, so it misses you entirely. Please, go ahead.
At that, he misty stepped as an intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna say,
it worked.
Yeah, and he's gonna say, I hunts these, and nobody needs to know I exist. I am no enemies to use. I am an enemies only to thems.
Roll intimidation. And because you got in her face, produced a. Did you show your dagger or no?
Yeah, you would have produced
all that stuff became all that. I'll give you advantage for this roll. And then, in accordance to Lightning Dragon, you reduce that by 100%, so you get a 0.
No.
What? No. Lightning Dragon said so. Am I wrong?
Lightning said so, but they didn't drop any daddies, as far as I know.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Dragon. Tyler needs you to be his daddy first. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Dragon. You gotta pay up first.
Yeah, you gotta ante up. Gotta ante up for Tyler to come to the pony show. You know what I'm saying?
So, I'm guessing I succeed.
Yep. You are definitely intimidating. So you do that, and she had done that. You easily step to the side. She says her hand firmly gripped on her sword, like white knuckling or whatever. You can see she's holding it together, but not easily. Like, you are a freaky looking thing. You know what I mean? You just came up in her face. Like, everything just kind of happened all at once. Teleported in her face, produced a dagger, even though you've been strip searched. You dropped a disguise to look like a snake. This thing's an extraplanar being. All this stuff kind of happening at once. But she's not a shitty person, right? So, like, she's not a bad leader. She doesn't lose her cool very easily. So, even though she swung the attack and you easily moved out of the way, she gets, like, resets her stance or whatever. And she looks at you and says, "Where do you find them?"
Where's parents seem to be leads. Where's wells I can tracks.
Are there more in the Perrin military?
More than likely's.
Is there a way to know for sure?
Ways I knows, yes. But I'd have to be theirs to find.
What's the likelihood that they're in Tasian military or Tasian leadership?
Well, they already were, so probably highly.
They weren't in Tasian. Tasian's a human.
Oh, that's where we are right now?
Correct.
Could be possible? I don't know.
Definitely could be.
How long did you intend to stay in Kurzweil?
Like I said, I came for weapons.
Violet?
Hey, since he's already out, could you
I'll just just hit him on the shoulder.
She looks past him, looks at the other two. Are you two? She gestures towards that thing.
Before they even respond, he's going to say no's.
Is that why you add S's at the end of the word no?
Ophios is not going to respond.
we're just like... Mm-hmm.
If I let you free, but keep your stuff while I suss things out, will you play ball?
Do you have to?
You can keep you in there.
I mean, we just need gold to pay for the sword. eventually. I guess you can.
Ophios will speak again, saying, as long as nobody knows I exist. And he puts back up in his disguised self.
She nods and says, I'm sure we can come to some sort of an understanding.
And his dagger would disappear in his hand.
Neat trick.
Those tricks. I do what is necessary.
Stay here. She goes over on the door. They open it again. Hey, can I get those keys? Thanks. Shuts the door. She walks back in. The door shuts behind her. She walks over past Ophios and to the cell. Unlocks the door. Swings it open.
Oh, thank you.
From what I understand, you had some dealings that you needed to do here. Wait here. I'll be back shortly. I'll bring to you your basic supplies and your coin. I imagine you'll need that. You can figure out things in Kerr's vault from here till when we talk again, but you're not getting your weapons and armor back. You don't need that, not yet. Understand?
Hey, just one piece of advice. Don't put the bag in the other bag, okay?
Why would I put a bag in a bag?
Just don't do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Stay here. They open the door. She goes out and leaves. The three of you are left alone now inside the locked room, but with no locked cell, so you're more or less still locked in. Please feel free to converse.
Hey, Ophios. Is everything you just told her true?
He just looks at Yondis kind of begrudgingly, kind of annoyed and mad that he just had to do what he felt like he had to do. That's essentially, it's just body language. He's not responding.
Kind of answer for him, and I'll just say, I think it's the truth. I don't know how many of these things are out there, but I believe that's what its purpose is for being here. But Ophios, do you really intend on leaving her alive? After that?
Again, he won't respond. He's gonna just keep staring at the locked door now, waiting.
I mean, if we're gonna be here for a while, we can always set something up if we had to get rid of her, you know?
We'll seize.
Yeah. Give him a pat on the back.
Again, barely moves. He's very upset. He's extremely upset. This is very much against him. And like, he essentially showed his whole hand and felt forced to show his whole hand, and he doesn't like being forced to do anything. So he's just sitting there like an angry noodle.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll just change the subject and say, who is it that we're looking for your weapon?
He'll say the Hufue's name, which I totally forgot what it was.
We're gonna call him I don't know, for lack of a better name, maybe
Soggy Drawers.
No.
No.
I was thinking maybe Nathan or something.
I was thinking maybe something normal.
Yonderpuss.
Yonderpuss? Is that a combination
like a weird
between
nickname for
Yondis and
Yonder.
Messy Cat? You know.
Thanks.
We'll just call him Ethan. We're just gonna call him Ethan. It'll be
I like
Ethan.
that name.
Ethan, the scrawny little Hafue. That's
Yeah.
yeah. But he can hold the drink. He can hold his drink. You know,
All right,
It
that's
depends on
fair.
the drink.
That's
a lot of
fair.
character. So Ethan the Hafue. That's his name from now on. Okay, Ethan.
Hafuthin.
You guys like that name? Yeah, raise a hand, Ethan. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Ethan.
That's a good name.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Ethan's a shitty name. Who would name their kid? You know. All right. So, anyways,
Sorry to all the.
At least it's not
out
Scott.
there.
Scott's.
Scott's a boring name. It's a terrible name. Whenever I tell people Scott Davis, that's like burnt white bread. You know what I mean? That's like somebody left their fucking Wonder Bread in the toaster for too long. It is
Like the
dry
name of
ass
the
toast.
toaster.
Yeah. Seriously, it's terrible. It's also the name of toilet paper. You know what I mean? Like it's a boring ass. My name Scott James Davis. Blech. There's no flavor. There's nothing.
From Massachusetts.
Yeah, from Mass. I'm a masshole. Hey guys.
Serious.
Anyways.
Check my Apple Watch to see if that guard's coming back anytime soon.
Were you really? I'm just asking. I'll ask this later. Never mind.
Sure. So so she eventually comes back and she's literally holding like she doesn't know whose is whose, but she's holding like the sacks of coin that you guys had and like some of your basic supplies, none of your magic potions or scrolls or any of that stuff. And she does give it to you. And she goes, "Whew, I had to look over all your belongings, and that's quite the haul of stuff you have over there. Looks like you're starting your own apothecary."
Well, I am a noble, and I
enough.
actually do trading.
Fair enough. And she gives you your stuff. Remember, stick around town, play ball. We'll talk later.
How? When do you want us to see you again?
I'll come find you. Don't worry about it. I'm sure you'll find an inn to rest your head in or something like that.
Okay.
Unless you prefer... and she gestures towards the cell.
Ophios is gonna speak again and just say, "Remembers what I said."
Oh, don't worry.
Well, now I'm worried.
He's literally just saying, "You better not say anything."
Yeah, she heard you. She doesn't look intimidated.
So,
I'm not saying she isn't. She might have a good poker face, but she doesn't look intimidated.
so at that, Ophios will make sure he grabs his stuff and hands the other stuff to Rena and Yondas,
Okay.
and makes his gestures for them to leave. He's gonna walk out last.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, bud. And I'll walk out.
So you walk out immediately outside the cell. You
Get
see that there are
mauled by
4
bears.
guards that are standing there. No, none of them have their weapons drawn or anything like that. All of them are just kind of like standing right outside the cell, standing around waiting for some sort of orders or whatever it is, because the door
What time of
locks,
day is
from the outside. This is the next day, remember, and many hours have passed, so it's like late morning to early afternoon, somewhere in that 11 to 1 range. Well, actually, it's my apologies. It's winter time, so days end much earlier. So it's like late morning sort of a thing. So you guys go walking out. There's the 4 guards that are standing out there, just kind of like watching. All of your stuff isn't in this room. It's kind of put elsewhere. It's stored elsewhere, but there is still the head lying on the ground right outside the lying on the ground right outside the door there. So the guards kind of like look at you, the 2 of you, as you come walking out. Tyler?
Oh, good morning.
They go, "Yep," and they kind of like look down at the head, then back at you.
Oh no, we don't need it.
Ophios will pick it up and just like throw it as far away as he can.
Well, so you said you walk out last, so you just walk out, no problems. And when you see the head, you pick it up.
You're not gonna. I thought
yeah.
you were walking out last because you wanted a moment of private with the.
He's thinking he'd rather have other people lead the way.
Okay.
Okay, so you pick,
And
actually pick up the head.
he's
Isn't it
also
evidence,
judging.
though?
He's also judging how the guards react to see if they had been told anything. Is that an insight check?
Yeah, it'd be an insight.
Tyler, did you redisguise yourself?
Yeah.
He said that. He
Great.
said he did.
Okay, good.
We're gonna see how many luck die we have, just because.
So you do not get any reading off of any of the guards. You just kind of look at them. They all have that like blank stare on their face. Just kind of like,
Right.
what the hell?
Then Ophios is gonna pick up the head, hand it to him, and be like, "Dispose of this where you will."
Nobody takes the head from you. Like, whoa, ew.
He's like holding it out, like shaking it. Come on. It's dead.
It's not going anywhere.
Just burns it, puts it in fires.
Nobody takes it. She comes out last and says, "Enough of that. Just put it on the ground."
Dispose of zits, burn zits, if you wills. And then he'll set it down and walk away.
Okay.
Yeah,
you guys
don't
walk
want
out.
that thing coming back.
You guys walk out and just kind of like crossing your arms, watching from behind. Can you do me a favor and roll me a perception check? You three boys.
His daddy's gonna come back to bite us.
Jake's just trying to trump you.
Oh. Awesome.
Well, get the worst roll and the first roll. Hey!
Damn.
A 1, a 12, and a 20. Wow, that's pretty average.
That's pretty awesome. All right, so you with your perception check, Ophios, you actually hear one of the guards saying to her, "Are you just gonna let them walk? Yeah. You're just gonna let them walk? What the hell's up with that? You gonna answer me? Come on. No, seriously, are you gonna shut the fuck up?" That's kind of like what you hear as you're walking away.
That makes Ophios kind of smile.
Kind of.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good grin. He's not going to turn around and look, but he's got a grin on his face, seeming like he had the impact he was hoping for.
And if you like turn back and look at all as you're leaving, you can see that even though they're all kind of standing around, all 5 of them are, she's still standing there with her arms crossed, watching you guys as you happen to be leaving. You know what I mean? But not saying anything. You know, stupid music. Go you and all right, good, we're good. So say not saying anything as you guys continue walking out. So you guys walk out, and finally you're inside the town of Cursevald. Now, Cursevald, as I described beforehand, is actually a decent-sized village and whatnot. So it's even though its area is not spread out too incredibly great in its in the actual layout of the city, it is pretty decently populated considering the area that it's in. Now, the reason why it has its denser population, you can kind of pick this up pretty quickly, especially you, Rena, can pick this up quickly, is they've had to take in a lot of refugees coming from the border. Coming to this direction, Cursevald is a city based around a cave named Cursevald. Literally pertains to a cave complex that existed that had a ton of curses inside of it that were overcome or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so you can see like the ring of like the refugees that had to like come here from like the Tasian border that were able to escape the Peredhel military over the course of like the years of war that has transpired. As a matter of fact, if you looked for them, if you tried, Rena, you might even be able to find old friends here. You know, maybe even like a distant relative or something. But I don't know if you give a shit to look for that kind of a thing. So anyways, you can see, so the outer layer is like kind of chaotic and densely populated. The houses are more of like a lean-tos or shoddy made houses, so on and so forth. Once you make it to like the next rung of the city, which is the next rung out of like the, we'll call it kind of like 4 rungs, is the next largest, where it was the outer area of the city where there was like, okay, this is where most of the merchants would have been for like external trade. This is where like a lot of the inns, taverns, so on and so forth would be. Where the poor district of like people that would have housing here, also like most of the guards would be. You can also see where they had external and internal guard houses, like towers or whatever, of this wall, because it's where the actual city wall would have been. But that's kind of like the second rung. The third rung into the city is like the innermost part of the city leading up to the actual wall of the mountain. This is the district of the city that has like most of like the nicer housing, the shops that have like more value to it. Like, this is where you probably find like magic items that weren't like the lowest tier adventure kind of magic items, like ooh, exquisite or higher end or whatever it is magic items, or just buying like valuable jewels or valuable like artistry and that kind of thing. But also where you're gonna find like quality metals, not just like steel swords made out there, but this is like quality steel swords, maybe even other metal swords, high quality craftsmen, so on and so forth. The fourth rung, we're going to call it, is actually not even outside the city or even a rung at all. It's actually within the old cave complex that's there. That area itself is actually mostly reserved for a lot of the workshops for where it is that as the ore is being kind of like brought up, it's actually being worked on, or being brought in from other places are going to be worked on. So it's actually where a lot of like the industry of the city happens to take place. So most likely the second rung is going to be where you guys find yourselves, what would have been the outer rung a long time ago. So past the refugees and all that, and into the area where like all the merchants and everything are. Like I said, there's lots of inns and taverns that you can find there. Where would you guys go first? Would you immediately look for shops? Would you look for the inns, taverns? What is the immediate goal?
Ophios Ophios will probably say to Rena and Yondas, he'll just go, the persons that I knows will probably be in a taverns near the smithings areas.
Perfect. I'll say that. Perfect.
Um,
That way. Just a little eager.
Yeah, just to get away from the guards. So unless there was something else that the two of you would want to do separated from this, which I don't think there is, feel free to roll me, whoever's the highest modifier, a diplomacy check, investigation check, to find where this person might happen to be.
I have a +1.
Also, Tyler, Jake's trying to get in your good graces by saying hi with a smiley face.
I already said hi to him first.
No, but it's okay. I think he's trying to get in your good graces. I think he's trying to say, don't kill my character.
I don't want to kill his character.
Yeah,
Jake's a good dude.
But Jake's character happens to be a loper in half-orc disguise.
What?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Are you supposed to tell us that? I feel like you were.
I know, it's
I feel like that's a lie.
What? No, he totally has magics over time and space. Mm-hmm.
You're going down. Wait, Rena, what's
I
your
feel-
investigation? Modifier?
0.
All right, so I'll roll.
Yeah.
Do you get advantage on this for this because we're assisting? We're all looking for it.
Jesus Christ, Jake.
That is a great question. Thanks, Jake. Daelric,
Yeah.
Whoa, 5,500. Them Terminator bits.
What's up?
Daelric, do I get advantage on this roll?
Because we're assisting, or is it just a normal?
Oh, yeah, you can get advantage. My apologies. Yep.
Fair.
Oh, okay. I was like, all I saw appear on my screen, because I'm staring at half my map, is the 1. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny. With advantage, you still roll like shit. Your the highest modifier in the party is a 2?
In investigation, yeah.
Investigation.
Wow, that's rough. That's rough for your party. So he, you go walking around and trying to find out what this guy is. You do eventually find out where he is, but it takes hours. There are a bunch of taverns here, and there's inns and other little places where you might be able to get alcohol and whatnot. And it takes a considerable amount of time. And
Bar crawl.
the reason why it ends up taking so much time for you to figure it out is you find out he, by sheer coincidence, happens to be at the tavern right outside the guard station that you guys were released from. We're talking like, it's like 5 buildings down. You guys were like long past that area when you first started saying, let's find this guy. You know, because you're, get away. Okay, let's find him. So when you guys finally find the guy locked up in there, it is many hours later. We're talking the sun has already set. It's like 6 p.m. at, in the wintertime. So you like finally come in. You're probably hungry. You're cold. You walk in. You see the guy. I imagine you're tired and irritable. You haven't had a proper meal in how long? The two of you guys had a dry sandwich.
Shower, dude.
Yeah, you
I
need a shower.
Shower for real.
Rub snow on you. You know what I mean? So,
Is it snowing?
well, it's snow on the ground.
Winter.
Yeah.
I thought this was more north, meaning it would be warmer.
What?
This is north of where we were before, right?
So yeah, it'd be warmer, but you're also in the mountains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
True. Yeah,
High altitude. So, anyways, so you guys finally, you come in and, Ophios, within like 20 seconds, 15 seconds of walking into this place, you see him. Do you beeline? How do you approach?
He's gonna go to the bar. Same thing as when he started the conversation last time. See what he's having, order the beer, and walk over.
Okay, you walk over. You sit down, and he looks at you quizzically like he doesn't know you. And he's like, are you wearing the same disguise as you were the first time that you met him?
Yeah.
Because you're wearing your kind of two steps back default.
Yep.
So he gives you that look like, I think I know you from somewhere.
He puts the beer down and slides it over.
Okay, slides it over. He takes the beer slowly, takes a sip, puts it down. Do I know you?
He goes, yes. Yous were putting in some orders for me last we spoke.
I did. I put the order in for you. Yeah. That was a while ago. A couple weeks. No,
Yes.
a week? I think it was a week. Maybe 2 weeks.
Ben's busies.
Huh.
Was hoping I'd find yous here.
You found me.
So's?
Do the other two walk over, sit down?
Yeah.
Have. we'll just kind of be with him, I guess.
So you guys sit down. He looks at you guys and goes, and he kind of leans over to you. He's like, "Do you know them?
These are my comrades.
You guys Russian?"
Knows. They're friends. My friends. Whatever's. It doesn't matter.
So you're like, "These are my comrades, whatever." And he's like, he nods slowly, and says, "So why are you here?"
To get the weapons. Just wanted to seize what's the best smiths are. Perhaps these twos would be interested in swells.
You wanted a cold iron weapon, right?
Correct.
Oh, and you came here to pick it up?
Yes.
Best cold iron smith I know takes about 18 months to craft.
Would I know that? Like, as soon as he said it, would I have been like, a cold iron?
Roll me an intelligence tools with your smithy stuff.
Okay.
Smithing tools intelligence.
Are you
So
serious,
just
Scott?
click the
We
smith
came up
tool?
here when I can't even pick up the weapon.
Intelligence smith, yep.
Well, we'll see.
Intelligence
This one will
advancement?
depend on
Well, we'll press the smith,
Press
whatever it is,
smithing
and it
tools.
should pop up an option
And then
and
you
choose
pick
intelligence.
your-
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
If it's a one, I'm walking
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
There's
Duh,
some
I got it.
campaign.
Rena, you don't know cold iron very well, but considering that it is iron that has to be slowly hammered from like whatever form it was in into a single glob, then slowly hammered out to the blade, then also hammered dense and hammered to a semi point, and then sharpened. From what you understand, cold iron easily takes like a solid like 3 years somewhere in there to craft.
So then I'll just look at Ophios and be like, you didn't want to share this with me sooner? I could have told you that.
What? I said the order was in, so I figured it's be done. What's wrong with that?
Cold iron weapons won't be done for years.
Do you have one that's already done? Maybe?
I don't
Ophius
craft.
will just kind of look perplexed and be like, feeling like an idiot right now.
I'll just like groan and just, and
is
then I'll
there a-
get up and go to the bar.
Does the smith sell work he's already made? Or is everything made to order years in advance?
Usually if somebody orders something specific, it's done years in advance. And you don't usually work with cold iron unless you know what you want. It's not something that just any smith can pick up and hammer into place. I mean, because if you screw it up, that's wasted
And-
iron.
Where
Didn't
where's-
use comes here to pick up the cold irons before?
Yeah, a couple of them. Hmm?
years ago?
Oh, the orders were placed in a few years ago, but it's not just like one order split. It's like you place an order, pick one up,
Yep.
you know, go place an order. You know, it's
Where's the smith?
Ours. No. Ophios will say, ours use retrieving one's nows?
I mean, for my wife. Remember, I told you this before.
Right. What kinds of weapons was it against? I can't remember.
A spear.
Ah, yes. Fairs. Good to know.
If you're thinking of taking the spear, you know it's going to be too small for you, right?
Ophios, once again, I'll just look at him and be like, I'm just generally curious. Same as last times.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure seeing you here. You want another drink?
Ophios will say, Nas. I'll see you next time.
See you in a few years.
Ophios
guess.
just gets up and walks away. I am so upset. I am so upset right now.
Did he tell you where the smith is? Do you know where the smith is?
You guys would be able to find the smith anyways, because like I said,
You
there's like a
wanna
nice
try
district.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're with,
So
if you're willing to
Ty,
give it another shot.
I'm sorry. In Discord, over in one of the spoiler chats, probably King McWhorter, we've been like talking about this, or maybe it was a Patreon one. We've been talking about waiting for when Tyler's gonna find out for some time. Like, does a cold iron take forever? Yep. Tyler doesn't know that, does he? Nope. So he went all the way up there for one? Yep. It's gonna be fun. Yep.
This is gonna extremely frustrate Ophios, and right now he is thinking he's going to kill that guard lady.
Oh no.
So he's frustrated that he made a mistake, so he's gonna murder an innocent woman.
That's
The
what
person,
you do.
she's not innocent. She saw his face.
That's
Yeah,
not how
but it's
innocence
your
is.
fault.
That's how it works in Ophios's mind.
Oh, so he's a psychopath. Okay.
I mean, he did chop off a guy's head and put it in a bag just to show me. Just to prove that he chopped off the guy's head. I think we knew this for a while, that maybe he's a little combat focused.
Oh, it's funny. So you get up and walk out of the bar. What do the two of you do? The guy gestures towards the Ophios's beer and says, "He didn't take a sip. Do you mind if I?"
Actually, yeah. And I'll grab it and I'll pull it towards me.
Oh.
Sorry.
He looks a little sad, but raises his glass to clink yours.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll do it. It's just, I've been in jail for a few days and I haven't had a sip in a while. And I'll start chugging.
So he does that thing where he like shrugs as you start to chug. He starts to chug too, but he like locks eyes with you and keeps drinking.
This is what this guy does.
Drink up.
I'm like eyes closed, like bottles up. Like the whole
Glug,
thing.
glug, 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 glug. Who can drink it faster? I suppose.
Roll a Constitution save.
Yeah, Constitution, so you can drink it faster. Not
It's been
you.
a while. It's been a while.
You get like halfway down and it starts dribbling down the side of your face, and you start like coughing back into your cup. Ugh,
What if I
that guy.
burned a luck die on this? What would you guys
They would think better than they do of Tyler.
Oof.
They, of course, being Rena and all of chat.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, you drink the drink. What do you do, Rena? Do you follow him out? Do you stay in here, order a drink? What do you do?
I'm ordering another drink.
Okay.
And I'll wait for them to come talk to me.
Okay. So you guys just kind of like hang around in the bar for a little while. You have nowhere to go immediately. The sun is already set. It's already been dark for a couple hours, so it's fucking cold out there. So, what do you do, Ty?
He's gonna go find a place to stay.
Okay. It's easy to find an inn. I mean, there's several of them around, so it's easy for you to go find an inn, cash in a couple of coins, get a bed, spend the night. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
The two of you can easily, again, spend a couple of coins, drink some alcohol, crash the night.
I think I'm gonna maybe. Is there a post here that I can mail from that would go into Perrin territory, or is it just for this area?
You'd be able to find merchants that'll bring it down to Peredhel, but you imagine there's no post that goes directly from here to Peredhel.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay.
Did when she gave the odds and ends items back, did the chest come with that?
No, she kept like weird stuff. It was more or less kept the money. So I gave you guys the money and like things like that and like basic stuffs, but the chest would have stayed there because it would have seemed like a strange thing. So something like that she would have kept with her at the time. So anyways, you guys spend the night, not a big deal. The next morning you're able to wake up. Did you want to look for any particular type of merchants? Did you want to look for anything at all? Maybe even merchants that if and when you get your stuff back, you can sell it to, or it's like, because you guys have a lot of shit. They might want to sell you stuff to, or you're looking for people that you can buy certain things from. What would you look for the next day?
We didn't give us back any weapons, right?
What? Go ahead.
We didn't get any weapons, right? They
Right.
No, we don't have our weapons.
Okay.
I was gonna go check the the smithing areas or wherever they're selling weapons and see if I can find something similar for Ophios.
Mm-hmm.
Or just see what they have, maybe like some sort of replacement. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with you.
Okay.
I'll be with you.
At the weaponsmith.
Okay, so you're gonna go look for weapons specifically, Rena.
Yes.
It's pretty easy to find weapons. We're rolling an investigation. This is like you're gonna find smiths. This is just looking around and trying to find. Actually, Rena, don't roll me investigation. My apologies.
Okay.
You are Tasian. This is Tasian Dale. You actually speak Tasian and you speak with the appropriate accent and everything. You're not just kind of like flubbing through the language. So you actually very easily are able to go and find whatever it is that you want to. So what kind of smith or weapons or what exactly are you looking for so I can kind of direct you from there?
Okay, so what would be the next like tier down from like a cold iron weapon that I could potentially find?
Exotic, then? You're looking for something exotic?
So Tesian steel is like very, very high quality steel and has benefits for going with it. Like it holds a sharp edge much better than most other weapons do. It's very hard to break comparatively, stuff like that. You can go with a smith, like a quality smith that can craft a proper Tesian steel weapon. You know what I mean?
Don't like that.
Also,
Who eats it by the whole pizza?
no, that's legit. That's how you eat pizza, you know.
Not how you eat pizza.
You're a monster, Tyler. What the hell?
You know, we should
Like,
plan.
I'm gonna go back and kill that lady guard. Pulls up this whole pizza.
This is what we should do next Friday when we all play. Everybody should go out and buy a Red Baron pizza, and we should all have Red Baron together. We should all have dinner together, and we'll all just eat our pizza like that.
Oh, is that gonna be our date?
It'll be our date. Yeah, it'll be our date, guys.
Of handkerchiefs and candles. And
Well, that was in the Regicide cast chat. That was fucking hilarious. The like sudden turn the conversation to. I was like watching this like roller coaster of a conversation. It was absolutely hilarious.
the
I
one
was
where
like,
we're talking
wait,
about Neil.
Yeah.
Neil. Okay, yeah. He's
Yeah.
a good dude. I love Neil. He's a great guy.
I was like, wait, that's not what You're like, no, it'll work.
We
That's
just need to
good.
get Tyler a dress and.
How is this an insult towards your culture? It's literally just straight up saving dishes.
Daelric, can you YouTube search the Pizza Time song from Spider-Man 2 and just
No.
play that on loop? Okay.
Moving on. So, you guys you go and you find a quality smith. So it's one of those things where you yourself are a smith, and so you're kind of like engrossed in that world. So it's one of those things where like if I said like say Tony Hawk, everybody knows that name when it comes to skateboarding. But if I said other name, so only skateboarders would know it, right? Like you're kind of in that tier where you're like, oh, you know the names of quality smiths. So you actually go
Tony Hawk
specifically
of
looking for.
blacksmithing.
Yeah, well, not quite there, but you know, like one of those other big names, not like video game big, but you know.
Yeah.
Like Bam.
So it's like the Tyler Sheed of blacksmithing, you know what I mean? Like a big name, but not like everybody knows it, you know what I mean? Like millions, sure, but not like hundreds of millions. You know what I'm talking about?
Who's Tyler Sheed?
Shied. I put emphasis on the wrong syllable. So you make your way to. My apologies. You make your way to go find this particular smith. We're gonna say his name's Ethan, and so
Ethan
Tyler, can you just
2.0.
hide it from the frame, please?
No, why?
This bothers the hell out of me.
Tyler, now you have to do it every stream. You realize that, right? Like, so come in with 2 pizzas a stream, and just go, like make like a pizza sandwich. Like this is how I calzone.
Well, I could double fist some pizzas, you know.
Double palm that pizza.
Yeah, I was like,
Just for confirmation, I am with her.
Rena, you realize that now definitely we have to do this next week. So mark it in your calendar, Red Baron. You know what I mean? You can probably pick it up like your local CVS or whatever it is, and then you can bring it home and you can have some delicious pizza.
Yes.
yes.
CVS always has weird things like milk and ice cream and pizza, right? No?
I
I go to
guess.
fries. Like
I
a
really
regular
hope
person.
somebody just, from all the times I've eaten pizza like this, somebody just clips it.
A mashup of Tyler eating
Yeah.
pizza and puts like a really good like I don't know like,
It's like a
Linkin Park
compilation.
background. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like a
Tyler
90s
eating pizza.
band background.
The Ricardo song.
What's the Ricardo song?
I'm not. You're a boomer. Get out of here. Just keep.
Oh. Damn.
Ouch. Okay, moving on. So in chat, that's for everybody else too. If everybody else would like to get pizza with us next Friday, we can all get pizza. Yeah, it'll be a pizza date. Feel free to post it into the Discord. Everybody's pizzas. You know, I'm totally gonna get pineapple and ham because that's how you eat pizza.
Wow. Okay, you're not invited. Just kidding.
Everything about this. I don't like
Just kidding.
so
All right,
far.
moving on.
There's not been one good point.
I
to
don't
this
think
argument.
Red Baron makes that.
No, I know, and I totally want Red Baron because I miss it. So
Okay, Red Baron Pizza next week. Got it. Okay, Messy's with me. We're at the blacksmith. I'm looking for
Yes.
weapons for both of them.
So you find this particular blacksmith. He's a quality smith, known fairly well for the stuff that he does. He doesn't necessarily work with strange steels. You know that he's worked with quicksilver and has mixed that into steels to make a chemically silvered weapons and stuff like that, which is good when handling certain types of beasts that you might find roaming in the mountainous regions of Taziendale. He obviously works with like quality steels of Taziendale and maybe some other minor things, but that's more of probably pet projects or like very high tier commissions from people with some serious coin to drop. Not so much sitting there on the shelf, right? So, anyways, this kind of a smith. He does have things that when you're dealing with this tier of smith. He does usually have things kind of like sitting there for persons to come in and buy because of quality. But he knows that like, if you want something that's really high quality for you, you're an actual user and not. You usually would commission something, right? So, anyways, when you go into the shop, because of the quality of smiths that they're usually out in the back working, and they're kind of, apprentice will be the one that's out there and does the talking. So when you go walking up, the apprentice will come walking up to you guys, and the apprentice themselves happens to be, a human lad, probably in his like mid-20s, and he comes out and he's like, "Hey, how can I help the two of you out?"
We're here to see
You go first.
your... Oh, okay. We're here to see some of your finest weapons, actually.
He takes a moment, kind of like stepping back and like looking you two over, and you can clearly tell without even an insight check, he's like trekking the two of you out, like getting an idea. And he's like, finest weapons. So, you his guard or his trainer?
His guard.
Nods. It's a weapon for you or for him?
For him.
As he goes, no offense to Messy, to Yondis, and looks at you and says, "Can he use it, or is it for show? Is this for a ballroom, or is it for a battlefield?"
I'm
He can
standing
use
right
it.
here. Why is he not talking to me?
You say he can use it, and he nods again and says, he nods and says, and are you like a local hire, or you like work for him full time?
Oh, it's like a full-time thing.
Are you a fucking traitor?
Absolutely not.
And he looks at he like gestures towards the fact that he's clearly wearing Peredhel nobility outfit.
Is Reyna still wearing the freaking
No.
armor?
No,
of the
no,
Oh,
they
we're
took
taken.
that from me. No.
Yep. But she has Tazian accents and everything. She's clearly a local. And so he gestures towards that and as
And
a response.
I'll look at Giannis to speak.
I am a traitor. Thank you for letting me in on this conversation.
No, he says, "Are you a fucking traitor?" To her, gesturing to his wearing Peredhel nobility clothing.
Traitor or trader?
Traitor, like traitor of the
Traitor.
of Tazian.
Peredhel?
No,
Oh,
sir. Well, I guess. I don't know.
He's confused.
He was asking Rena if she was a traitor. Because she's
Taziendale?
yeah, because you're a full-time guard of Peredhel nobility.
Oh, no.
Oh.
yeah,
okay,
no,
that makes
I'm
sense.
not. Absolutely not.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
So you say no, and he's like, then explain.
Right.
Me explain, or can I
Why
mention
you're
to
with
him?
me?
Yeah,
Explain why you're to him why you're
why
with
I'm
me.
with you.
Yeah.
Oh. He's a traitor to his own kind.
There you go. That works. Yeah.
He looks you up and down and says, well, "You are awfully dirty for a Perrin." Not referring to the race, but like the nation.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. Yeah. Put a lot of hard work in.
Why are you still dressed like that then?
That's all I got. It's nice. It's comfy.
We're on the hunt for something different as well.
I'd rather spend my gold on a new blade than I would some clothes I'm just gonna wear once.
Roll me a persuasion, because the two of you guys
Why?
are trying to convince this guy. Because, well, clearly he doesn't want to just sell to some Peredhel scum.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't have been an asshole then. How's that?
He looks, no, Rena, you're fine. So he,
Oh, I thought you said both.
if I did, it was by accident. So he looks you up and down, For a couple moments, and he starts nodding. He goes, "I'm sorry for the third degree. It's when you have weapons like this, they carry a reputation that comes all the way home. We don't need it in the hands of the wrong people."
I get it. Yeah,
Quite
totally
alright.
understand. It's just to protect myself, not anyone else. You know, I tend to get in more fights with parent guards than I do with anything else. So, really, helping me is doing your own kind of favor. So,
You looking to buy off the rack, or you looking to have custom made?
just whatever you got already made would be great.
He looks to her, raises an eyebrow.
I'll just nod.
What does he use?
Daggers mostly.
Makes sense. And he turns and walks over.
Although, if you have a short sword, I could use that too.
He looks back at you as you say that. And he kind of like doesn't even really look at you. It's kind of like looks back in your direction and says, "You sure those arms can hold it?"
Arm wrestle on the table.
Do you actually say that?
I'm putting my arm on the table like I'm gonna arm wrestle this guy. I'm like,
Stops, turns back, looks you down and up again. What's your strength score?
low.
What is it?
I just
very
want to
low.
see
It's
this.
low.
I just want to see this happen.
Same.
He comes back over to you and says, "Left arm or right?"
I'm right-handed, and as I say that, I'm going to just kind of do a quick hand gesture and say the words to cast Charm Person on this man.
Charm person lasts, what, a minute? Okay, you cast Charm person on him. What's my saving throw DC?
This is 1 hour.
Oh, 1 hour, my apologies. I'm thinking old school. So what's my charm? Oh, never, don't tell me what the DC is. I literally got a total of a 3. So I failed miserably. Okay, so you come over, and he puts his arm on the table, and he goes, "Well, just your luck, friend. I happen to be right-handed as well." And he drops his arm on the table and says, How about this? We play for a discount."
If I beat you, I get a discount.
Absolutely.
And you're not gonna let me win, are you?
No, but if I win, you buy the best blade. Full price.
How much is that?
Is it?
Just curious.
It's fine. Yeah. I'll take your bet.
Really have had Ophios with you if he would have hexed him.
I'll take your bet.
You're going to regret I'm the best there's ever been. All right, roll me your strength check, sir.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
Not the worst. Not the worst.
I didn't see the result.
What? No, it's not.
I already did. It's a 15.
Yeah,
Do you? I don't see the
Yeah.
result. Are you sure?
I can see
I'm
it.
sure I can see
Scroll
it.
down. I don't.
It's on the stream.
Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. Sorry, my mistake. Yep, it's a 15. I see it. Okay. All right, here we go.
Ooh,
Oh, I didn't. Oh, did I type that in the wrong? Yep, that's
I
right.
don't
Okay.
want to look.
Open roll.
Yeah, I am, actually.
Does Charm Person help him in any way?
We'll see.
Oh, a die didn't pop up because of how I typed it. So he grabs your arm and goes, boom, and drops you on the table.
What's the modifier?
4.
Get a +4.
He
You
goes,
rolled higher than me base anyway, so.
he goes, double or nothing.
19.
No.
I'm
Let's
just
do
saying.
it.
I'm just saying. You
Do it.
look like a kind of guy that needs 2 daggers or short
Left
swords.
hands. Left hands. Let's go. Left hands. Double or nothing.
Honest.
Ovios walks in and casts hex on the guy.
No, you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You
It's
don't
fine.
know
Left
where
You
it
say
hand,
left
do it
hand.
again.
He reaches
Left
out
hand.
and with his index and thumb squeezes your forearm and your bicep and tricep. He goes, "Yeah,
Let's do it.
okay." You get to roll. I suppose with no modifier. But why don't we do this?
Modifier.
Why don't you roll with disadvantage?
Okay. It's not really gonna help my case at all, but
I feel like this guy has to as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna do it better this time because last time I didn't roll dice for you.
Wait, the charm person says that you have to do a wisdom saving throw.
I failed my saving throw. Yeah.
Oh, you
Yep.
failed it. So, oh, okay.
He rolled the same one, but +4 got you.
Yep. So he boom drops you with the other arm and goes, "All right, 2 best blades coming up. I like you," he says, and he gives you like a pat on the shoulder.
I knew you were gonna be the best smith. The best smith always beats me in arm wrestling.
He chuckles and says, "I'm just the apprentice. He's out back talking to the captain." And
Are you sure? You could have fooled me. I've come through a lot of smiths, and none of them really put me down.
Hold up. There was a important note there that I didn't hear because I'm not there. But did Yondis?
About he's just the apprentice, and the other guy's
He's
in the
out back talking to the captain.
That's fine. It's fine.
So he goes over and he takes down 2 short swords. Now, God, I always forget that. Have you guys ever seen like what are they called? The Roman swords. What are they called? It's actually a word from gladiuses. Have you ever seen a Roman gladius? Mm-hmm. So the first 2 short swords he takes down look like Roman gladiuses, and he kind of puts them down in front of you. Now they're very well made. They're very quality make. But you pick up the first one and hold it, and holy hell, does it feel heavy? Because the Gladius has multiple styles. There's a style that's actually designed to be rather thin. There's one that's more like I think it's also a Gladius. It's more like a wedge. So it almost looks like it kind of gets thicker down by the base. So it almost has like a diamond shape to it with how it has like an edge, and it comes up thinner towards the base. It's that secondary style where it has like a lot of weight to it. You're picking up this thing and you're like, holy fuck, this is uncomfortable to hold something so heavy. And he's like, "How do you like these? Most durable, strongest blades we have. Absolutely will cut through pretty much anything you can bring them to bear against."
Great. Maybe I'm just not quite used to the weight of a blade. I've been on daggers for months now.
Oh, you know what it is? It was just that arm wrestle match. It really wore you down. It kind of made you tired. Is that
You might be right. You might be
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, how about this? He reaches over behind the counter. He hands you an apple. That'll perk you up. And he grabs the blades off, chuckling to himself, putting on a bit of a show. More for Rena, but for Rena, you can tell he's being very friendly with the 2 of you guys. He's actually just literally being like, let's tease the guy because he's a scrawny guy and the 2 of you are like tough people, you know what I mean? And he puts back the Gladiuses and pulls down 2 other blades that are much, much thinner in design, much lighter in design. And he puts these down. Now, Rena, you notice are the first ones. These were made out of typical kind of steel, like higher quality, whatever. The ones that he has here, definitely, you can tell by the color of the actual metal. You can tell by the design of them. These are definitely made out of Tasian steel. Usually, you would not have a weapon this thin if it wasn't made out of steel of such high quality that you know it wouldn't break very easily, right? So this is like if you ever think of like quintessential Japanese films or whatever kind of like weapons that like very thin design because Japanese steel is just so high quality. Think of that kind of mentality. He brings over these 2 weapons and puts them down, and literally both of these put together in one hand weigh just under the weight of one of those individual ones beforehand. They are so light comparatively.
Thank God.
And he puts these in front of you and says, "How do these feel?"
Much better. Much better. Oh yeah. I could swing these bad boys all day.
Oh yeah, can you?
Maybe not all day, but for a while, yeah.
All right. He points at Rena and says, "Glaive."
Sorry, what?
That's a type of weapon.
Oh. For
It's
me?
6 pounds and it's 1d10 slashing. It's heavy reach 2-handed.
What is this?
It's a weapon.
What weapon is this?
It's a glaive.
It's like a heavy ass weapon. No. I have
Well,
mine.
he's asking if that's like your preference, but yours is axe.
Yeah, great axe.
So you say, this is what he's like, no axe, or?
I'll say no and axe. Yeah.
And nods, says, all right. And he's like, "Follow me." And as he's like walking by, he actually pulls an axe off of the walls. But this axe is it's completely wooden. It's not no steel to it whatsoever. It's all wooden axe, well crafted, whatever. That's kind of like wedged and knocked into like a hole to like hold it all together, whatever. And he leads you guys right outside the a side door that brings you into another, like, it's an interior space, but like, like a Three Seasons porch, how it might have like a screen in or whatever, area with like a roof overhead, like a screen in, like that kind of an area that's inside the ground. There is kind of dirt. It's not actual, but it brings you into this area, so you're kind of like somewhat protected from the elements. It's not quite as cold in there as it is if you went right outside. And he tosses the big axe to Rena and says, "Why don't you two have a couple of rounds and see how comfortable it is, and you come back inside and give me all that coin when you're ready to when you're ready to admit defeat." and he just kind of goes back inside. And so
I'll just smile and kind of swing the axe around and look at Yondas. Ready when you are.
I've never used a short sword before, but we should probably make this quick because that spell's only gonna last another 50 minutes or so. And there's a few more things I wanted to get out of it.
So the two of you kind of like dance around for maybe like 5-10 minutes or so, actually getting a legitimately good feel of the weapons. At first you're thinking, I'm going to do this because I have to, and then you realize they are very light. They move very well. Holy shit, these are well balanced. Like, these are really good weapons.
Like a +1?
These are really good weapons. And so you realize, like, damn, like, this is quality stuff. And you actually, it's one of those things where you find it easier to get different footing. You're like, with proper training, you might even be able to teach yourself to even be more defensive with these weapons if you wanted to. But it'd take a little bit of extra training or whatever to pull it off. But these are very quality, really good weapons. Again, after like 5 minutes of like, you kind of get into it and like time flies by. You realize after, holy shit, like 10 minutes have passed. We should probably get back in there. And Rena, don't get me wrong, it's messy. You floor him. But he's comfortable with these blades, and he actually legitimately feels as though it benefits him. You can go back inside, and the guy, when you guys come back inside, he just looks at Rita and says, "You didn't hurt him too bad, did you?"
I was holding back.
Yeah, they're weak down south.
Just a little. I'll look at him.
All right, come on.
And so you go back inside and kind of have a little chat. He's like, "All right, you ready to ante up?"
Ooh, all right. How much are we looking at?
Depends. Are you done done looking to buy?
I'm afraid I'm worried I might not even be able to afford one of these.
Yeah, we know how it goes. The more you buy, the less everything is.
What?
You get an increased discount the more stuff you're purchasing.
So, what's your sticker price for one of these?
What's MSRP?
I'm sorry, I have to read the Daelric bot Dale joke. It says, "How much does a hipster weigh in Instagram?"
Okay, boomer.
That just makes me laugh. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
I don't get the boomer jokes. I'm sorry. It's just that you're old, so it's too easy.
I mean, I'm actually not. I'm like 2 generations away from being boomer. You're 3 generations away, but I'm no.
Messy, do you want this
I'm a
weapon
millennial.
or not?
I'm a millennial, but that weapon's looking like it's 50,000 gold.
Well, I could afford 100,000 of that.
So, anyways, go ahead, Rena. Oh, sorry, Bessie. You were looking at other stuff. Unless Rena was going to chime in too.
No,
I was just saying. I was like, do you want the weapon or not?
Yeah. How much is one?
So you just asking for the weapon? He goes, "You don't want anything else?"
Well, I just trying to get a feel of how much it would be for the whole set.
I'll ask before he answers and just say, you don't happen to have is it a falchion?
Falchion. Essentially it's a long sword.
I'll ask.
I have like a buy 3 get 1 free deal, do you?
Falchion. That's kind of a strange weapon. Not on hand. It'd have to be custom made.
How long would it take?
Perhaps a shield.
Okay.
Oh, it's a custom make it.
Shield?
I'd have to check the with the boss and see how much spare time he has. Maybe he'll have me work on it. We can get it done quicker. A shield? We have shields. But, nothing's if you want to get shields of Tasian steel, we got those. Sure, they ain't gonna break on you.
Well, Rena, do you know how to rate a shield? I don't use shields. I wouldn't know if it was good or not.
We make them lightweight and we make them durable. It's your choice. All right, if you were looking to just get these two right here, that should cost you, I believe, +1 weapons are uncommon. So that should cost you 2 of them together. What do you say? 850, and we call it even.
Is that gold?
Yeah.
No, it's
probably.
hugs. We got to keep warm up here in the mountains, you know?
Yeah. See,
Turn your back on your nation, you left your coin behind. Should have thought about that.
Not all of it. I just, we've been
Does
walking
Rena
a
really
lot.
need a new axe? She just got that new axe that was a custom project.
No. I'm not giving. We're looking at the short.
Just the
swords.
2 swords.
Just the 2
Yeah.
swords.
I'll just say, and for one.
500.
Right. Yeah.
The more you buy, the bigger the discount.
I can't
have
even afford
another-
one, Tyler. Can't afford one.
Listen,
We have.
That's why we have
He-
stuff to sell.
he says, listen, as he takes one sword out of one hand, the other out of the other hand. What do you say you two go in to figure out your financial situation and come back and talk to me?
We'll be back.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough, yeah.
As you're kind of like finishing up this conversation, the back door opens up, and you see the captain of the guard walks out with the actual smith. Now, the smith himself is a human gentleman. He's my apologies. A human gentleman, stands at maybe like, I don't know, 5 feet tall. Kind of a stocky fellow. Has like a pretty well groomed beard that comes down maybe like 6 inches off of his chin. Not crazy long, not too short either. Well groomed. He walks out with the captain of the guard, and he's like, "Yeah, so well, it was a pleasure meeting with you, and I'll definitely keep an ear open because I don't know. It sounds like you could certainly be of an aid. I mean, that's quite the tale that you tell there." And she's like, Indeed. She turns
Hopefully
around to
nothing
see
too bad.
the two of you guys standing there, and she raises an eyebrow and says, "Oh, I see how it is. I take your weapons so you come to procure new ones?"
Yeah, we did tell you we placed an order weeks ago. We were just checking in on it.
I'm a blacksmith, so simply came to admire some work.
She nods. She actually, 100% everything you said there is completely true. And stops her in her tracks. She's like, she looks down at him. He looks up at her and kind of nods to you guys with a quizzical look on her face. And she gives like a slight nod. And he nods and says, "I'll see you around." And she says, "You will." And starts to leave.
Captain, you're not you're not threatened by our presence, are you?
No.
Good. And the one that's not here, also, right?
No.
Want to do an insight check, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Because Daelric, you sold it, dude. You sold it, really, honestly. But I just gotta make sure,
Honestly, she doesn't seem like she's frightened.
Good.
Which makes sense. Captain of a lot of people versus 3.
Yeah.
So she says, "I'll be seeing you two and your third around."
Hopefully soon.
Actually, very soon.
Good.
So she leaves, and the smith looks after, looks over to the two of you and goes, "What you looking to buy?"
Apparently nothing.
Good. Looks at his apprentice. "Don't sell them nothing yet. I'll see you boys later."
She's actually a girl, but yeah. Great.
We'll just turn to leave.
Okay. The apprentice looks back at him and is like, you can tell, like, he gives, like, a... And you guys leave?
One more thing to the apprentice before I go. Hey, come here for a second. I just need to tell you something.
Leans in.
When it wears off, just know I wasn't really planning on doing anything. It's just my first time. I'll give him a tap on the shoulder.
Kinky.
Looks a little perplexed, and with that, why don't we take a break?
Great.
Awesome. We'll be right back, boys and girls. Be right back.
In meta, I checked the spell, and it says when the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you, so I just wanted to make sure he wasn't threatened.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll be right back.
He's going to be, but...
Oh, no, I pressed record, and it didn't record. No! Oh, well, bye.
You can pull the VOD.
Yeah, I'll have to. Oh, well.
Right, you have to do editing.
YouTube's behind by, like, 2 months anyways.